What's up? Uh, you know how we kicked this off, right? What about the world have you observed since last we met? And the age-old answer is always that the world is perfect as it is a reflection of ourselves. Oof. And why am I saying this? What's that for? Who's this for? Well, why that is the serious oath. It's a practice of looking at shit and looking for yourself. Because that's all you're ever looking for anyway, by virtue of extensions of everything else. Just looking for yourself. And I think as I continue on my travels over the last couple of full months, not full months, full moons, um, I found my path weary. I found it foggy. I found it frustrated. And I think in my impatience, I reached out and I communed, right? And I'm weird because when I commune with family, I'm um I'm looking for the triggers. I'm looking for something that's gonna make me go or something that'll outright piss me off, or something that'll just make me stop for a second and just think. And before I decided to speak and commune with those that I share fellowship with, um, the messages that I received from Spirit were, you're always where you're supposed to be. And my OG would echo an old favorite of mine, that things don't happen to you, they happen for you. So as I'm sitting with my distortions and my delays, I start talking. And I'm talking to my dad, and he's telling me about um, his issues with coaching and how he's trying to squeeze years worth of experience into a season. And we would talk about why that's nigh impossible unless you have the right um, the right fuel, the right gas to push that. And we started talking about our love for the game. This game was football. And he would tell me about how he would allow fear to drive um, his results. Or I see this happen, I don't want this to happen to me, so what do I gotta do to show up so that I'm not him and that I'm me? And I thought about that and I was just kind of like, well, damn. If I'm hearing this, how many things am I doing out of fear for a positive result? And it just made me think about it. It just made me reflect. And so then I get my final piece, um, sitting with my OG and my daughter. And we had this moment where we decided to watch the K-pop Demon Slayer. This shit was cool. I was surprised by how good it was. Um, it was just like a clean, good movie. But at the time, I'm taking it in, and I'm watching it with my mom. She's watched it like 9 times. My first time seeing it, and I didn't want to watch this movie because I understand portals. I understand portal opening, and all it takes is for me to see some shit, and then now it's a part of my experience in one way or another. So I wasn't trying to watch this shit. The fuck, I wasn't trying to watch it. But we watch it, and I'm paying attention to the main character, Rumi. You gotta let a poet Rumi. And I'm paying attention to all of the side characters, and I'm paying attention to the Saja boys and the villains, and I'm piecing together all of these different things where we're looking at patterns, we're looking at one's essence, we're looking at one's nature, we're looking at um, all of these different dichotomies. Sure, you got the light and dark, you got the demon and the demon slayer, you got um, you have these dichotomies. But the one I found more interesting was the calling versus the dharma, where their whole focus is you slaying demons. You know a demon because they have patterns, and you're trying to hide your pattern, but your calling, it has you set up where you kind of got to be in the world, but your dharma got you set up where you're not supposed to be seen. And it was as if the character was trying to perform her calling, and that by working the calling out, she would be able to fix the realm and get rid of her pattern. And you would kind of come to find out that maybe you weren't supposed to fix anything, that you were supposed to fuck it up. And I think that's what happens when you hit this nexus point between your dharma and your calling, where you have a divine disruption. You have towers. You have things falling. You have things, you know, being anything other than what you hoped it to be. And as I'm paying attention to other characters, you have shame weighing and driving the opposition forward, as well as that being something that is holding the the protagonist back. And I'm just sitting at this shit, and I'm just kind of like, I didn't want answers from this, because as I conclude with all of my observations, it's an alignment game, and I don't think I realized how far and how disconnected we can all be because of whatever our internal struggles, our internal wars are. So, I mean, I don't know who this is for. I don't know if it helps. But it was just some things I was thinking about. And I think as I meditate on them further, it's as if patience, it's as if there's never enough patience for the things you want the most. But I guess I just share that tale with you. Happy manifestations or whatever the fuck you got going on, man. Peace be with you.